The Illusion of Duality, humanity's final initiation. For as long as we can remember, life has been experienced in pairs: light and dark, good and evil, joy and sorrow, creation and destruction. This is not a flaw in the system. Duality has been one of our greatest teachers. It gave us contrast so we could learn. It sharpened our senses, built our sense of self, and gave us the ability to choose. But what if I told you that duality was never meant to be the destination? That it was always a stage, a stepping stone in our evolution, and that we have now outgrown it? Humanity is standing at the edge of a transformation so profound that most of us can only feel it rather than name it. We are not just becoming more spiritual or more awakened. We are shifting from being a self-aware species, Homo sapiens, into a collectively aware species, a new kind of human that some call Homo luminous. This transition is not about perfecting ourselves or defeating evil. It is about remembering that the entire game of duality was an illusion designed to teach us who we are. And now that we know, we can put down the sword and step out of the battlefield entirely. When consciousness descends into form, something strange happens. It forgets. It loses sight of its source. It becomes an individual, separate from everything else. That separation is not a punishment. It is an opportunity. Through separation, we discovered choice. Through choice, we discovered responsibility. And through responsibility, we discovered that we could create. Duality is what gave us the tension that made us grow. Without fear, we would never have known courage. Without loss, we would never have known love. Without shadow, we would never have known the value of light. But duality has also been the source of our deepest confusion. Once we learned to label things good and evil, we began to believe that reality itself was divided, that there were forces in eternal war with each other. This belief has kept us locked in conflict, not just with the world but within ourselves. Look around today, and you will see many people waking up to the idea that the world is not as it seems. They sense that there are hidden forces, hidden truths. Some feel they are warriors of light, called to fight the darkness. This is understandable. It feels noble. It feels right. But fighting darkness is like fighting your own reflection. The harder you swing, the stronger the illusion becomes. The moment we choose a side, we are still inside the game. Duality thrives on opposition. The battle keeps the wheel turning. True freedom comes not from winning the battle, but from realizing there was no battle to begin with. When we stop fighting, something beautiful happens. We remember that light and dark were never enemies. They were dance partners. The dark was only ever an invitation to remember the light within. This is what it means to return to Source. Source does not choose sides. Source does not condemn. It simply allows. It is the love of a mother who never turns her back on her children, no matter how far they stray or how many mistakes they make. This is the most potent creative force in existence. It is unconditional, and it is always available to us. When we align with this force, we stop reacting to life and start creating from a place of wholeness. We no longer see ourselves as separate or as victims of fate. We understand that everything, even the pain, even the darkness, was part of the path that brought us home. So what does this next stage look like? It is less about doing and more about being. It is less about fixing the world and more about embodying the truth that the world is not broken. It is the recognition that every human, every animal, every star, and every grain of sand is part of one great body, and we are awakening to the fact that we are its consciousness. Collective awareness does not erase individuality, but it dissolves the illusion of isolation. Imagine living in a world where empathy is natural, where harm to another is felt as harm to yourself. Imagine creation that is motivated not by fear, not by scarcity, but by love. This is not a dream for the far future. It begins here. It begins with you. The illusion of duality is one of the last veils we must lift. It is also one of the hardest, because it is woven into every story we have been told, every myth, every religion, every hero's journey. But breaking it does not mean rejecting good and evil. It means integrating them, seeing them for what they are, tools that taught us to choose, but never the final truth. The final truth is unity. The final truth is love. The final truth is that you were never separate, never lost, never at war with the universe. You were simply remembering who you are. And now that you know, you can step off the battlefield and into creation.